knows that the issues are law and order and the forgotten American, and he is ready to keep repeating them. This is Bill Plante, CBS News, with the Nixon campaign in Anaheim, California.
How cool is that, right?
Yeah,
And
it is
Bill
cool.
Plante covered Richard Nixon's successful presidential run. There he is in 1968, and 46 years later, he is listening to the Nixon White House tapes. A new book reveals the former president's surprising feelings about a lot of subjects. Bill is at the White House this morning. Mr. Plante, good morning, sir.
Good morning to you. The authors of the book culled through 3,700 hours of audio tape to find these nuggets. They reveal a president with views that many today will find antiquated and offensive, but there are a few surprises. In April 1971, Richard Nixon proclaimed that he was sympathetic to the plight of gay people.
I am the most tolerant person on that of anybody in this shop. They have a problem. They're born that way. You know that. That's all. I think they are.
But Nixon's tolerance still had its limits.
Boy Scout leaders, YMCA leaders, and others bring them in that direction, and teachers. And if you look over the history of societies, you will find, of course, that some of the highly intelligent people, some of Ireland, Osterweiler, Aristotles, we're homosexuals. Once a society moves in that direction, the vitality goes out of that society.
In that same discussion with his chief of staff, Bob Haldeman, and National Security Advisor Henry Kissinger, Nixon also revealed his views on women who curse.
A man drunk and a man who swears, people will tolerate and say that's a sign of masculinity or something other damn thing. We all do it. We all swear. You show me a girl who swears and I'll show you an awful unattractive person.
The audio clips were released by Vanity Fair, which published an excerpt from the upcoming book, The Nixon Tapes, by Douglas Brinkley and Luke Nichter. One transcript suggests Nixon was worried about Kissinger, one of his closest aides, getting too involved in Middle East policy because Kissinger was Jewish. You know, put yourself in his position. Good God. You know, his people were crucified over there, Jesus Christ, and 5 million of them popped into bake ovens. What the hell does he feel about all this? Nixon told Haldeman. Kissinger himself had very little sympathy for the plight of Jews in the Soviet Union. I'm Jewish myself, but who are we to complain about Soviet Jews? Kissinger asked Nixon. You know, it's none of our business how they treat their people.
The sightseeing I've had is like the hors d'oeuvre of a Chinese dinner. I'd like to have more.
And the president who famously thawed relations with communist China found the Chinese baffling. You never can predict how the Chinese are, he told Kissinger, because they are Chinese, not because they're communists. The Russians are more predictable because they're doctrinaire. The tapes have given us enormous insight into the day-to-day life of the Nixon Oval Office. But the great irony is that he saw that taping system as a way to help him write the history of his presidency. And the tapes have made history for sure, but hardly the way that Nixon intended. Nora?
Fascinating indeed. And Bill Plante, also fabulous part of history. Let's see that two-shot of you, Bill, from 46 years ago. I think you look even more handsome today, my
I know,
friend.
Bill Plante. We were looking at you, you think, what a handsome guy. What'd you think?
I thought, oh my God, who was ever that young and inexperienced?